Well, we're going to be doing the manual transmission oil change on a 2005 Hyundai Elantra GT. It doesn't matter as long as it's a manual transmission. It's the same, I believe, for both. They're both 5-speed, even for the GLS. Basically, you want to jack up the vehicle from the front bar. You're not lifting off the wheels or anything like that. You're just lifting up the vehicle just enough so that you could get to the bottom bolt, which is on the side of the transmission right there. I'll take another shot of it later on to show you, but then you will access the filler hole from the front, from this end right here, and I'll give you a closer up view of that as well. I wanted to point out that you want to be doing your manual transmission oil change every 60,000 miles. I'm at 121,980. I'm a little over 60, but that's okay, no big deal. There's a lot of dealers who will try to get you to change it every 10 or 15 or whatever, and they'll cite local conditions. I think if you stick by the book and go 60,000 miles, you'll be perfectly fine. So when you get underneath the car, the front end of the vehicle is towards this side. This is the driver's side here, and this is where the manual transmission is. The drain plug is this large bolt right here. It is basically bolted into the side of the frame. You're not going to do this or this one here. It's this larger one here. I basically use a crescent wrench, one of these things. Just get it out on there, snug, and then I break it loose. Once it's broken loose, then you can basically turn it by hand. It's very simple. Just make sure you use a pan underneath to collect the oil, and then dispose of the oil in a proper fashion. And that's basically all there is. Once you do this, and then in the next step I'll show you where the refill hole is. Once you do open this up, you should go back up and open up the fill hole, the drain plug. So this way, the fill plug, I mean, this way you allow the air to circulate as the oil is being dropped out. For the manual transmission refill for this car, the refill hole is located right there. So towards the front of the engine, if you were to look down, this bolt right here is the fill hole. This is where you're going to put 2.2 quarts of the MT90 fluid, which is supposed to be the GL4. For the manual transmission, it is supposed to be GL4. So here is the nut, the bolt I mean, and it has one of those aluminum crimp washers. Basically, you should be replacing it, inspect it for any damages. You can see that the fluid is coming out of there now. It's near the end. So as soon as it stops dripping, then I'll go ahead and put the drain plug back on. In order to fill up the fluid, the manual transmission fluid into this hole, through this hole, what I'm doing is I am going to use a plastic pipe. I think this is a 3/4 inch diameter. I've cut a slot in there. Basically this will narrow up and plug into the hole, into the side of the transmission. Then I will plug into the end of this thing right here, and this way I'll be able to fill in the oil that I'm using. I'm using the MT90 Redline transmission oil. It is a GL4 oil. It is all synthetic, so it's one of the best ones out there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to insert this. Basically, oh, I don't think you can see that. It's a little crammed in here, but pretty much what you do is I squeeze the end that I've slit up with a slit on the upside. Now you can see that the pipe is hanging up on that side. I come in here, I stick the end of this funnel into that opening, and then I fill away. So 2.2 quarts, and let's see if I can get a better shot of it. You can see right there, and that's how it goes into the opening. So I'm going to go ahead and now start filling it up. One thing to keep in mind when doing this oil change is, you see where the hose is going into? That is the hole that is the drain that you want to open up to fill the transmission fluid. There is a nut on the lower side. First of all, you won't be able to fill it through that hole, but apparently that bolt you do not want to unscrew, because apparently it holds some type of a fork for reverse or something like that. Anyways, but that is a bolt that you do not want to touch. So make sure you open up the bolt that is on the side of the transmission. So just wanted to give you another shot of that thing, a closer up, so you could see where my filler hose is going into. When you are filling up the transmission fluid, you want to make sure the car is level, on a level ground, because you want to fill it to the point where the fluid is just level with the inside of the opening, and that will be approximately 2.2 quarts of oil. That's about it.